All right, folks, Yishai Fleischer here in the beautiful land of Israel. One of the questions that I'm constantly facing from groups is how can we beat Al-Qaeda, the Muslim Brotherhood, Hezbollah, Hamas, ISIS, if jihadism is an ideology? You can't get rid of an ideology. And I always answer back, of course you can defeat an ideology. You can get rid of the people who hold on to that ideology and make it uncomfortable to hold that ideology. Make it so it's not worth it. You can discredit the ideology. But people don't always buy into that. They say to me, look with Nazism. Yeah, we defeated it, but it still exists in small pockets. Yeah, but those are not meaningful pockets. And people maybe don't believe that we can overcome jihadism. And maybe they don't understand how destructive it really is. Well, one person who really does understand what jihadism is Elica LeBon. She's a lawyer, she's an activist, she's a social media personality and influencer, and a darn good one at that. She's got a fire against the jihad. She understands what the jihad is really all about. She herself is from a Persian background. She understands what the jihad does to countries, how it destroys the fabric of society with its subjugation of decent folks who want liberties and freedoms. She has a great fight and a great passion against jihadism. Check out this video where she lays it out strong how the freedom-loving countries and freedom-loving peoples and God-loving peoples and decency-loving peoples can fight jihadism and indeed destroy it. Check out her words, her logic, and her passion. Elica LeBon.
So ever since Trump announced his plan for Gaza, I'm seeing a lot of conflicting narratives online and a lot of confusion about what we do going forward in this post-war era. And this is precisely this question that I want to answer for you in a very, very, very simple way. It is one problem, it is one solution. Our problem is that we do not have a universal moral compass. Okay, one more time. We do not have a universal moral compass. And it is in this space of moral ambiguity, of moral confusion, that the worst of the worst has found a way to thrive. It is in our moral confusion. Let me explain to you what I mean. After Nazi Germany, the solution was very simple. It was de-radicalization. And yes, that meant changing the education system. Yes, that meant changing the culture. Yes, that meant changing the economy. Yes, that meant changing the street names. Yes, that meant banning every form of Nazi memorabilia and insignia and any semblance of Nazi ideology. But much, much more than that. There was a universal display of moral clarity. That moral clarity looked like the Nuremberg trials. The Nuremberg trials displayed at an international level the consequence for Nazism, making it so that nobody wants to be Nazis again. It is that simple. Did you watch the Nuremberg trials? Did you see them squirm as they had to listen, as they had to watch and listen to the crimes that they themselves had committed and felt so uncomfortable to be confronted with? That's how you deter Nazis. You show a universal moral through thread that says regardless of who you are, where you're from, or what you want to do in this life, you cannot be a Nazi. If you want to be a Nazi, try. Find out. Find out. You know what we've failed to do in this era? Set the fucking tone. What's the tone for jihadists? Pray tell, what is the tone? Because the only thing I've seen for jihadists is incentive, is reward. This isn't the Nuremberg trials. These are the Nuremberg rewards. You commit terrorism, you get billions of dollars. What's the consequence? What's the consequence for jihad in our morally confused world? You cannot assert the consequence because you're afraid of appearing racist. Imagine saying, I don't know if we can denazify Germany because it might just seem like we're racist towards Germans. No, baby girl. No, girly pop. No, it doesn't. You want to find out if this is about racism towards Germans? Watch the trials. Because we lack a universal moral compass, jihadism is not only not deterred, it is rewarded. You have the UN. The UN was formed in the wake of World War II to ensure that doesn't happen again. What has the UN done? What has the UN done except 9 out of 19 of its accused members of one of its agencies was found to have participated in October 7. What has the UN done except invite the Islamic regime of terrorists in Iran to chair its Human Rights Council and Forum for Disarmament? What has the UN done except appoint Putin's Russia and China's CCP to the Security Council to veto any persecution against the Islamic regime in Iran? What has the UN done? What we have today in our morally confused world is feckless representatives, feckless agencies, feckless organizations. Where is the ICC's prosecution of jihadist terrorism? Oh, I forgot. You can't prosecute the jihadists because they're technically not a state. Well, isn't that convenient? Why not just give them an incentive to reject a state over and over and over again, and then you can't prosecute them because they're not a state? This is a reward system. This is not a consequence system for jihadism. And then you sit and you wonder, why do we have jihadists? Because you have been rewarding them. You tried diplomacy, did you not? Did you not try to give $150 billion to the regime? Where did your diplomacy get you? Where did your appeasement to jihadists get you? Is it not time to try something new? Is it not time to look back at your failed policies and regroup and rethink? So you want a solution? Here's your solution. Where is your international court of anti-jihad? You had the Nuremberg trials. Where are the jihadist trials? Where are the jihadist trials? And if the jihadists have been killed, try them in absentia. Set the tone. Set the moral tone, and the jihadists will go away when every single act of jihad, whether it's in the Middle East, whether it's in the West, anywhere that it threatens us, is met with the maximum punishment. And if you kill yourself as part of your act of jihad, your whole tribe gets tried. How about that? How about that for disincentivization? Where is the show of universal moral clarity? So you want to know how you end jihadism? It is simple. Get yourselves together. You feckless representatives, you feckless organizations, you feckless international courts. Figure it out. We do not live in a safe world so long as Nazis have power. We do not live in a safe world so long as jihadists have power. We denazified after World War II. You know what it's time to do? De-jihadify.
All right, friends, Yishai Fleischer here. Thank you, Elica LeBon, for that strengthening. Yes, we can defeat jihadism. Yes, we can. We just have to believe that it is not impossible to fight and defeat an ideology. We also have to believe that we must do it, or else our world is going to be constantly struck by it, made sick by it, and give us a life of no peace. We deserve peace. That's what God wants. God wants us to live in peace. God wants us to live in the path of Abraham, to walk in the path of Abraham, to recognize him, to love all mankind, to bring people closer to godliness, to bring them to Jerusalem in love. In order to do that, we have to push back on attitudes and ideologies of hate. God bless you, folks, wherever you are. Please join me at fightforisrael.org, fightforisrael.org, to keep up the fight in our various awesome projects, including beautifying the land of Israel and spreading Torah throughout the world. And if you love what we do in our broadcast here, then visit buymeacoffee.com/Yishai and support what we do. God bless you, folks, wherever you are. Stay tuned and stay connected. And shalom.